On the minute. We are live, David. And this is the Disney Crush Podcast, episode 154. We have a special guest, Lauren Hawkins, talking about her recent Labor Day weekend trip. That's my phone telling me that the Disney Crush just went live on Facebook and YouTube.
Oh my
Lauren's
gosh, my phone's going crazy.
Lauren's going to tell us about her trip to Walt Disney World Labor Day weekend. She did not tell some of her friends and family where she was going or that she was going anyplace. And when we discussed travel shaming in a past episode, Lauren reached out to us to tell us that she was a little nervous about telling her friends and family where she was. So we're going to talk all about that. We have some new news. We have a little bit of Facebook to talk about. And this is episode 154 of the Disney Crush Podcast. We're doing it live. We'll see how it goes.
Live, raw, and uncut.
We had some issues with Skype last night, so we were unable to record our podcast. So we're going live tonight. So,
hey, let's
Lauren?
say hi to Oli. Hi, Oli.
Yuli.
Oh, it's Yuli. Oh, I thought it was Oli.
Hey, Dan. Yeah, we didn't do a live stream last week because of the presidential debate. We probably should have done a live stream instead.
Yeah, it's probably been more
would have
interesting.
been better. Yeah. So, hey, Scott is at Saratoga Springs. He tells me he got upgraded again.
Oh,
They keep getting upgrades this summer. So well, it's not even summer anymore. But they've gotten multiple upgrades in the past couple months.
You think he's got an extra bedroom there?
You're gonna get in the car and drive over if he does.
Hang on, honey. Can you get the bags ready? We're gonna go to see Scott and Karen. Yeah, she's ready to go.
Okay.
Scott, Karen, we're on our way.
Okay, so I'm sure we'll hear about that on next week's Mickey File podcast. You be sure to catch Scott and Karen. What are you eating, Veronica? She can't hear me because she doesn't have a headphone. So
I'm packing right now. Bye.
Oh, okay.
Told you. Yeah, I'm telling you.
We'll get an hour closer to Disney.
Yeah. See.
Yeah. So, Scott and Karen were featured on this week's Geekin' on WDW podcast. Be sure to listen to that everywhere you listen to podcasts and catch them on the Mickey File podcast. That was very nice, the things you said about us on this week's Geekin' on WDW, by the way, Scott. Thank you for that. There's no one here, so we gave you a better room. The cast members told Scott, there's no one here, so we gave you a better room.
Wow.
There's no one there. Maybe I need to go.
Now's the time to go, Lauren. You see?
Instead of being at work. Yeah. Now, next week, to be fair, next week is Columbus Day. It's also Canadian Thanksgiving, which is usually a big deal for Disney, but I don't think it is this year because of the travel bans. But next week, the availability for park passes is quite limited, even for guests at the hotels. There's very limited availability at Disney's Hollywood Studios. I will say they have added availability to pass holders. I'm finding more and more pass holder availability. So I'm not sure if Lauren, if there's something, I hear a mic or something. I don't know. Are you stationary, whatever you're recording on, Lauren?
My computer is, but I'm probably moving around a lot.
Okay. I just hear something clicking. Do you hear that, Dave? A little bit?
Just a little. Yeah. It's
Wait,
it's
hold
okay.
on.
All right.
Somebody's watching us on a bus.
Oh, Danielle is staying at the Poly, the bus from Epcot to the Poly. I don't know. I think she's staying at Animal Kingdom Lodge, but I'm not sure where Danielle's staying. Please sure to tell us, Danielle, where you're staying. She is at Disney right now.
Yeah, I think she's switching up. I think she's going to be staying at the Poly for a while too, though.
Oh, she's hopping. She's resort hopping. Yeah. Split stay. Good deal.
Well, we can go see the Daves, and we can go see Danielle. Everybody. We'll just jump. Yeah, we'll just go see everybody.
Sounds good.
It'd be a
Sounds
big
good.
party bash. Okay, she did a split stay at the Poly now. Okay.
Okay, so she's Animal Kingdom Lodge and the Poly. That is not a bad stay if you can get it.
Oh, she could have stayed at the Baymont. I mean, come on. Yeah.
Yeah. What was that one? What was that one that you said you'd never stay? Was that Champions? We Are the Champions.
Yeah, I think that was
really, really gross one that you would never
Yeah.
go back to.
And we're gonna do a podcast with Veronica because Veronica and Olivia went this past weekend,
Mhm.
and they went to a place that they've never been before. And I warned her, I said, honey, you probably shouldn't do that. And they walked in the room, looked at it, and took some pictures, turned around and left, and
Good.
found another room somewhere else because it was that bad. So,
Okay.
and they
I
went
can't
to
wait
one
to
that,
hear.
Yeah.
I can't wait to hear all about that. Hopefully next week's podcast, right?
yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. Any other housekeeping loose ends before I get into the news?
Yeah, I want to give a big shout out to Deb Hutton. She's a friend and a listener.
Yeah.
She's had a little episode with her appendix. I
Oh,
think it was
no.
pretty darn serious. I think it burst, and she was in the hospital for about a week, and then
Oh, Deb.
yeah, and then some friends took her in, and she's recuperating. So I just want to send our love to Deb. We love you, and we're thinking about you. And she's a big runner, so I'm hoping she gets back on her feet and is able to start running again, because yeah, that was that can be very serious. The appendix. My brother had that, and yes. Well, you're a nurse, Come
That's
on,
pretty
it's
serious.
serious.
Danielle says
And-
she's also staying at the Bay Lake Towers on Saturday.
Let me put that back up. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And before I know this is not Disney related, but I want to give our condolences to Eddie Van Halen, a great guitarist and a great great band. Love them guys. So hate to hear it. 65, he was young, and
Yeah, he was battling cancer
it.
for some time, they said.
Yeah.
Also this week, Helen Reddy passed away. She was from Pete's Dragon, and she was also a well-known feminine activist. But Helen Reddy was in Pete's Dragon, and she sang "Candle on the Water," which is one of my favorite Disney songs. So I loved Pete's Dragon growing up.
It's a good movie.
Yeah.
And before we get any further in the show, I just want to give a public shout out to Kevin Curtis Allen, and Kevin Curtis Allen. There you go. And you'll hear all about it, Kevin. So had some technical difficulties last couple of weeks, and I know what it is. Haven't been saying your name in the podcast lately, and it's our own fault. We deserve it. We'll take it. I get it. So there you go, Kevin. So also in the news, we got some news. Tony Ann's going to be back with some news. I don't know where she went. She's left us, but she'll be back soon. I want to give a shout out to all the 28,000 Disney employees that have lost their jobs. That is literally like a small city or a small town. 28,000, Lauren. That's a lot of people. My heart goes out to them, and I wish I was a multi-millionaire, because I would do something for them for sure.
Yeah. Josh D'Amaro released a press release about the 28,000 employees, which is about 67% of them are part-time employees. Because of the COVID, because they're just not, like Scott said, the resort is empty. We're not seeing it as far as the crowds in the parks. A lot of us think it's crowded and the wait times are long, but they really are running at a lower capacity, and they still got resorts that aren't open. So Port Orleans, for example, is not open. So one of the cast members that was let go was Bob Jackson. Yeehaw Bob. So it's
that's crazy.
Yeah. 23 years he was at Walt Disney, and he's doing his Sunday live streams on Facebook. So he'll be missed, and so will a lot of other cast members. So
Well, you're talking about the all these people being let go, and it's you can see it in the restaurants too. They're trying to open up the restaurants, but a lot of them are only open on the weekends. So that's an indication that they're not fully staffed, or they would stay open the whole time. So you have that too.
I'm gonna excuse myself for 1 minute. I think Michael's having an allergic reaction to something. He walked in here and his face is all swollen. So
Okay. Go ahead,
why
you go
don't
take
you
care.
talk to Lauren for a minute, and I'm gonna see what I can do with my child. I'm so sorry,
Okay.
guys. Okay,
No, we'll take care.
I'll be back.
Michael's minute.
Michael Smith?
Yeah, phase 3 is also happening here in Florida, and that pretty much says that you're open, everything's 100% open, but Disney, I don't think has any plans, Lauren, to do that. I think that they're going to continue on with the mask and the social distancing and the temperature checks, which I'm totally fine with. So I don't see any changes probably till, I'm thinking, after the first of the year,
Yeah, I know that they said that it wasn't required that they make the changes. So I wasn't sure if Orange County still had the mask mandate and everything down there. But I would assume that it would be going until at least the first of the year.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I mean, and you know what? Good for them, because, I think they got a lot riding on this. Their whole reputation, they have so much to yeah, I don't think that, and I'm fine with it. I'm okay with it. I kind of, I don't like crowds, and people, I'm okay with it sometimes, but so the social distancing, I'm okay with that. You stay 6 feet away from me, because when it wasn't like that, people in these were always on top of you. So I'm good with that. Yeah, so things are going to probably stay the same, and times are changing on the reservations. You can tell that all of the Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas, especially annual pass holders, we're pretty much blocked out of everything right now. So if you're trying to book something, I would look at the reservations and don't give up. Maybe keep checking it, because Tony Ann said that she was looking a couple weeks ago and everything was blocked out, and then she looked again and there were some openings. So just because you think you look at it and it looks like it's blocked out, it may not be. You may be okay if you keep looking. So
What we had to do to get our Hollywood Studios Day, because we booked it so last minute, it was the Tuesday after Labor Day. And when we first went to go reserve it, it said everybody was locked out, or it was all booked up, even, resort guests and regular ticket holders and everything. And then we kept refreshing, and then about an hour later, there popped up some availability.
Right. So it's kind of like the fast pass, when you used to have to keep refreshing to get a fast pass.
Yeah, exactly.
It's a whole new system we're gonna have to learn. So it's the same thing. You just got to keep refreshing, keep looking, and maybe something will come up. But the annual pass holders, we're the ones that get out first. So no love for the annual pass holders. Josh, just saying hello.
He's listening.
What's that?
He's listening.
I know. Of course he is. And Disney listens. They are listening. And I don't know if I have any other news. I know Tony Ann probably had some. And let's see. We talked about all this other stuff last week, some other stuff that was in the news. Mobile dining was I didn't have a problem with it when we were there. I think that the way it is with some of the crowds now, that you might have, there's a bug in here. That if I was you and I was in the parks and I was mobile ordering for some of these quick service restaurants, I would pick a time that is not the prime time, like breakfast, right? Early breakfast, or between 11 and 12:30ish. I would try to go maybe a little bit later. And dinner, the same thing, because I found that those times, those hot times, fill up pretty quickly. So that's just a little hint if you guys are in the parks. I don't know if you experienced any of that when you were there, Lauren, as far as mobile. Did you guys do any mobile dining?
Yeah, we did all mobile dining. We didn't really feel comfortable dining indoors at all. So we did
Mhm.
all quick service and we sat outside for everything. But we didn't really have any problems with mobile dining or mobile ordering, I should say.
Yeah.
The only problem that I'm glad that they instituted it now is that you can mobile order for the sit down restaurants, or at
Mhm.
least they're starting to now. I'm so excited about that. I wish that was there when I went, because we really wanted to go to the sit down restaurant at the Poly, but we just didn't feel comfortable eating indoors. So it was like
Right.
something I wish we could have tried, but we didn't get to.
So it looks like you did go to Enchanted Rose, though. Is that from Enchanted Rose?
Yeah, that's like the one place that we did dine indoors. And then, so yeah, that's our cheese plate, and we got the truffle fries. That was on the first night that we went there. But if you see the other pictures,
Yeah.
we went and it was just completely empty except for one other couple. I mean, there's just that one couple and then the servers, and that was it. So we're like, okay, this is fine.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So
Susan is saying hello. Hey, Susan.
hi, Susan.
And Scott is, Orange County and Osceola both still have mask orders.
Okay, good.
And I'm thinking this is
Our
Hola.
friend from the Pacific Northwest, Tom Ellison.
Hola, Tom.
Now, Tom was saying that he's not telling anyone that when he goes to Disney anymore, because he's tired of hearing it from people. So I did have I don't know how much I missed. What you guys just got into Lauren's report? Is that what you?
No, I was still doing some news, but we just kind of veered off on the mobile ordering because I was talking about the mobile ordering. So if you have any more news, do you have any other news?
I don't know what you discussed. So did we discuss that the minivans are officially? There was a rumor for some time that they were not coming back, and now Disney has officially pretty much said they're not coming back. So that was one of our news stories.
I never got a minivan, so I never did that.
Yeah. Very important news. The spring rolls are back, but this actually is a little bit of Facebook. This woman went off on Facebook this morning because she went to get a spring roll. She was so disappointed because they're only open on the weekends. So she went there yesterday and was very her whole life was ruined the way that she wrote post. So apparently the spring roll cart is open, but it's limited. It's on the weekends.
And she may need therapy. She may need therapy for that one.
Yeah. A new holiday event is coming to the Give Kids the World village. It's to support Give Kids the World. The event runs from November 13th to January 3rd. It is the Night of a Million Lights. It's going to transform Give Kids the World's whimsical storybook village into a dazzling winter wonderland. More than 3 million glittering lights will immerse guests in festive kaleidoscope of sights and sounds, including shimmering 150-foot tunnel leading to 45 exquisitely decorated Wish family residential villas, more than 50 larger-than-life holiday-themed displays, an enchanting incandescent gingerbread arch, out-of-this-world space-themed decor, and delectable centerpiece at Henry's Starlight Scoops. Admissions for all ages includes complimentary ice cream and hot chocolate, as well as unlimited access to the village's wheelchair accessible rides and attractions, will be lavishly decked out for the holidays. Additional food and beverages, as well as special edition holiday merchandise, including 3D glasses that will bring every magnificent bulb to life. Santa will be there. There's going to be other surprises. And the event runs from 5 p.m. to 10 p.m. daily. They are staggering entry times to promote social distancing, and masks will be required for all guests. I just want to give you a price for this. And Give Kids the World is in Kissimmee, right up the road from Disney. Most nights it's $25 for adults, $15 for kids, but there are peak nights which are $35 for adults and $18 for kids. And on the holidays themselves, it's $40 for adults, $20 for kids. All the proceeds go to Give Kids the World, which has currently had to close due to COVID. So they want to get it reopened, and this is going to help them do that. So
Very nice.
yeah. Chef Mickey's is going to be accepting reservations starting. Chef Mickey's is open already, but they're going to, the characters are coming back on December 16th. So reservations will be starting October 17th for these for having breakfast with the characters. Again, it's socially distanced like it is at Topolino's. There's going to be some new treats, including Mickey's Celebration pancakes, loaded potato cheese casserole, and Goofy's banana French toast. That's Goofy's banana French toast. That's the potato casserole. And that's Mickey's Celebration pancakes. This is going to be served family style. Like it. I know Scott and Karen went to Chef Mickey's this past week. So I'm sure we'll hear a review on the Mickey File podcast. Wherever you get your podcasts.
That's right. Wherever you catch those things at.
Breakfast, like I need to make a special trip down to Florida just to get that breakfast.
Yeah, that looks pretty good. And I think the last news story I really had was that D23 did announce its dates for 2022. It'll be September 9th through the 11th at the Anaheim Convention Center. They're giving fans a first look at the incredible plans for the 100th anniversary of the Walt Disney Company. So I think that's all the news I had. Did you have anything else, Dave?
Nope. I covered some when you were gone. I just want to ask you, how is Michael doing?
He's allergic to pineapple. You know that. And I think he got into some, there were like fruit pops, and I think some of them had pineapple in them. So we gave him a Benadryl. He should be all right. He just, he came in and his eye was like swelling, and
no.
I knew that wasn't good. So I gave him, but his father's watching him. So.
Okay. Well, that could be a problem. The nurse is in the other room and the father's watching. Okay. No, I'm sure he's fine. I'm just kidding. Richard is fine. He'll take care of him.
So I did have one Facebook topic, and that was on something I posted on the Disney Crush. Our friend Mandy had shared with us.
Hang on.
What?
On this week's The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly of Facebook.
Uh-oh, he
Give me a
disappeared.
bing, Lauren.
Bing!
Oh my goodness, that was a great bing. That was a really good bing.
Well, she had practice because she did it with us before.
Good, yeah.
It just didn't get recorded because
Well-
someone didn't push record, Tony.
My BFF in the whole wide world, Miss Avery Jean, turned 3 this past week, and Rapunzel came to her birthday. And that led me to ask the question. Well, the story Mandy told me was that Rapunzel came, and before she let the kids come up to her, she put her mask on. And when AJ saw Rapunzel put her mask on, AJ asked, "Can I have my mask? I want my mask, Mama. Get my mask." Yeah. So that led me to ask the question on Facebook: should face characters be wearing masks in the parks? I think that they would be setting a great example for the kids. But other people feel that a once-in-a-lifetime trip might be, ruined by them wearing masks. So I asked people for their opinions. And on our group, it was very civil. Scott is Scott Daves was not a fan. He thinks they're already so far away, so it's nice to see somebody with a smile on their face in the parks. But other people said they think they should. They'd be setting a good example for the kids, especially the ones that hate wearing masks. And they could, a point that Amanda Bond, was that, they could have some beautiful masks to complement their outfits. So on our group, it stayed very civil, but on a mom's group I belong to, I posed the same question, and people went like crazy. They're like, if you don't like it, then just don't come to the parks. And it was like, that wasn't what I was going for. I was just asking, like, what you thought. Do you think that it's a good example for the kids for them to wear masks? So one woman said 100% yes. It shows the kids that right now masks are what we need to do. Kids look up to these characters as role models. But other people were just, as a reminder, COVID is non-existent in these characters' realms. So it would be right. Exactly. Yeah, that's anything. So it would burst the magic bubble. So I don't know. So what do you think? Do you guys think that characters should be wearing masks, or I don't know?
Lauren?
Well, I think you kind of have to get into the lore of the Disney parks. Like, so what do people think with the argument of, oh, they're not in our realm? Like, what are they doing in the parks then? Like, are they venturing into another world, or are we going into their world? Like in the parades, like they don't ride parade floats in the movies. And
right.
So I don't know. I don't buy that argument, but that's just my cynical side coming out.
Yeah.
That doesn't make sense. Like, you can't argue that, because it's not, they're coming into Disney World and they don't belong here. So.
Right. If we have to wear masks, why don't they? Right. You're telling your kids, in order to go to Disney, you have to wear a mask, but Rapunzel's not wearing a mask.
Yeah. I think it does set a really good example for the kids to see their favorite characters. I
do understand if it's your like once in a lifetime trip that you want to see them without the masks on, but I really don't think people should be coming here for a once in a lifetime trip right now. So Tom says breaking character doesn't matter. It's a health issue. Hey, you already look better.
Well, you know what I would like to see? I would like to see Mickey with a mask.
I thought that when they were reopening, I thought we'd see Mickey with a big mask over his face.
Yeah, that would set a great example. I don't know why they didn't do it. Like him and Minnie would come out with masks on. That would set it. See, look, Minnie and Mickey are doing it, so you could put your mask on. And that would go for some of the adults too that we saw when we were in the parks too. People.
Yeah. Mickey's got a big nose, and he thinks he'll keep it up above his nose.
Here, this is what we saw I'm gonna do a reenactment of what we saw in the parks.
Okay.
Oh, no. Oh my god.
I'm not joking.
Yeah.
And I know Lauren's got some good ones too coming up, because we're gonna talk about those too, Lauren, aren't we?
Yeah, that makes me want to go get some props to recreate mine too.
Oh, I just couldn't believe it. I'm like, you really just took your mask down to cough? Seriously? Oh, yeah.
In the parks too. So it's not just like one person. It's like, I don't understand that.
So Lauren, when exactly did you come? You came the Sunday before Labor Day, or
Sunday after, or the Sunday of Labor Day weekend.
Okay.
Is when we drove down, and we came from Ohio, so it took us about 15 hours to get there. So we got Sunday night of Labor Day.
Now you stayed at Pop the first night, is that?
Yep. So
I want to show everybody this picture you sent me of the Pop lobby.
That was the lobby at 8:45 on Sunday night, and that was me standing all the way at the doors with my camera up, because I could not believe what I was seeing. There was just, the traffic, like there's people coming in from both sliding doors. There's people coming from the lobby. There's people waiting for their mobile orders. There's people waiting to get into the merch shop. It was just like everybody was standing so close together. So I just had to snap a picture and get out of there, because nuts.
That is crazy. That really is.
Yeah, it made me
Not
just
good.
go back to the room and just like stay in there.
And hide. So now refresh my memory. We've had this conversation before. So Rapunzel is the queen of Corona. That's right. You're absolutely right, Scott. So oh, that is a telemarketer telling me to vote. I think I'm gonna remember to vote.
I get about one of those a day, 2 a day.
I started a new job recently and they gave me a work cell with a number that I've never had before. Nobody has this number. And every day I get calls telling me to vote. So, and Facebook keeps telling me I need to vote. It's like, I know Facebook, you don't have to tell me to vote. So
You haven't registered yet. You need to register.
I
to vote.
registered 30 years ago. I registered 30 years ago. So
like, wait a minute. I think I've already registered.
yeah. You guys, then you went to, was it the Poly you stayed at?
Yeah. So next, we went over to the Poly and we stayed at DVC in the DVC part because obviously the rest isn't open.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, we resort hopped because we came a day early. So rather than just booking a hotel off Disney property where I wasn't really sure about the safety,
Mm-hmm.
I just realized that. Okay, until
Michael's got his magic bands again because we didn't go. He had magic bands and then we didn't go because I wasn't feeling good. So now we're gonna go. We're gonna go and we're gonna have a trip in 2 weeks. So, but you didn't go to the parks on Memorial Day, if I remember, or did you?
No. So that first day, Labor Day, we woke up early and we got to Springs first thing that morning because I figured that would be the least crowded of the weekend, to try to go first thing in the morning. But we were wrong on that. We got there and it was slammed. Like we had to wait 15 minutes in traffic just to get into the parking garage. Mm-hmm. And it was like Black Friday there. It was really, really packed. So yeah. I thought, people might be coming for lunch or dinner, but no, it was first thing in the morning, just as packed as ever. And I think that was one of the days that they like maxed out capacity, that they had to close close the parking garages.
Yes, that's what I heard. And which totally surprised me, but with the hours and stuff changing so much and with the parks closing so early, it wasn't surprising.
Yeah, I figured, the Monday of a holiday would, people would be leaving, but
mm-hmm.
I don't know.
Mm-mm.
It was crowded that week. That was the week when all the parks were at full capacity and the lines were long. I remember seeing long wait times.
Yeah.
So what was the first park you guys actually went to?
So the first park we went to was on Tuesday, and we went to Hollywood Studios.
Oh, there you are.
We got there first thing. It was rainy most of the day, but we did get a boarding group. We got boarding group 28.
Oh, great.
Yeah, I was really, really happy. I was, checking my Wi-Fi signal and checking the, off the Wi-Fi signal, but we ended up getting it. So this was our first time back to Hollywood Studios in 5 years.
Wow.
So much new stuff. But the only thing that was discouraging about it was because, everybody was there first thing. The ride lines were really, really long. Like everything was over 60 minutes, even, Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster. So first thing in the morning, we did Slinky Dog Dash.
Mm-hmm.
We kind of had to just wait around and go to shops and stuff until we got our boarding pass. So I was I've ridden these rides a lot, but I didn't want to wait
yeah. So did you find the wait times were accurate? Like Slinky Dog was the wait time what it said it was, or were they shorter?
Slinky Dog was shorter. I think that it was first thing. I think it was 60 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
posted, but then it wasn't that long. It was like 25 minutes or 30 minutes.
Okay.
That was the very first ride. We did wait for the Muppets show.
Okay.
That was posted, I believe, 15 minutes, but I know we waited longer than that. But it was like, 15 minutes through the queue, and then there's that
Yeah.
10-minute, pre-show. So
Right.
it ended up being like a half an hour.
Really? That's interesting.
Yeah.
The Muppets. Are they is it you think it's because they're not letting as many people into the theater at once, or probably I would imagine the pre-show room they have to, because usually they cram you in the pre-show room. So
Yeah, there were spots on the floor
mhm.
in the pre-show room. And that was one of the areas, like one of the times throughout the whole trip where we were just like, I don't know if this is comfortable, if this is safe, because there was so many people in that tiny little room. And like everybody else notices, like, some nose are sticking out, or
Right.
people are drinking their drinks. I mean, nobody was outright not wearing their masks, but
Still,
yeah.
a little close.
Yeah, but for us, it was so hot, and we weren't used to, we're from Ohio, so we weren't used to the heat.
It was hot.
So it was kind of like, well, do we stand outside and get dehydrated and overheat while waiting for a boarding pass, or go in the shops, So we chose shops.
What'd you do for food at Hollywood?
We did the Backlot Express for lunch. And that was okay. It was just kind of, average.
Yeah.
But we had the poison apple slushie, the Halloween slushie. That was really good. I like the little balls in it. And then the best thing was the Docking Bay 7.
Uh-huh.
Was like sold. I think next time we go to Hollywood Studios, we're just going to eat there all day.
Good.
Really, really good.
Great. I'm trying to think. There was did you guys talk while I was away? Did you guys talk about the planning that went into this trip? Because I know you had canceled, right?
Yeah. So I have been really paranoid about COVID. I mean, rightfully so. It's a pandemic. So we had planned this trip since January with two of our really good friends. And we weren't sure. And then up until like 3 weeks before the trip, we were like, okay, we're going to go. And then just Florida's numbers spiked. That's when it was about 15,000 cases a day. So we just decided to cancel. And then about 1 week to the trip, we already had my husband and I, we had the vacation time off. So we just, considered where Florida was with the cases and comfort levels. And we just decided to go for it anyways. So, but we just went with just the two of us. That way we could, control everything that we were doing, and being super obsessive with cleaning and changing the clothes and showering and washing hands and all that sort of stuff.
So what made you reach out to Dave when we talked about travel shaming? You said you felt like you couldn't tell people what you were doing.
Oh, yes. So a big issue with the trip was feeling like we couldn't tell people, and we didn't tell anybody except for like the people that were watching our dog, our really family, like immediate family, just because of the judgment that is going along with traveling right now. And we didn't want that negativity when we were traveling, because, we're going to the happiest place on earth, and want to be brought down by that sort of stuff. So we considered all the options and considered the COVID risks, and we just decided, we're okay with the risks, and we went ahead with it. And we didn't tell anyone until about 2 weeks after we got back, which was a little bit, maybe a week ago. That's when we posted. We knew we were COVID free, so we didn't have to really worry about people's judgment. But a main thing, I think, too, was we haven't seen some family and friends here because they haven't wanted to wear masks or social distance. So now, even more so, since everyone knows we went to Disney, I have lost count the number of times people saying, well, you won't go to you won't come to our house or you won't come to see us, but you went to Disney. Like, what's the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Now, even more so, since people know we went to Disney,
Right.
it's worse than I thought. People just are like, well, you went to Disney, so you just don't care about COVID, which isn't the case.
Yeah.
No,
I'm sorry.
feel
I'm sorry that your friends are treating you like that. Friends and family.
I think it's just like, I don't think people know about all the precautions that Disney has taken. They've really thought of almost everything, with the temperatures. And I mean, you guys know all the
Yeah. No, but what were you most impressed by as far as what they're doing?
I think I was most impressed by the social distance markers.
Mhm.
They really thought of everything in terms of even outside of stores or
Right.
little stands and stuff like that.
And where do you think that they can improve? Where did you not feel? Where did you not feel safe?
There was a couple of areas that I didn't feel safe. The one, mostly it was just other guests.
Yeah.
Like you guys were mentioning with people taking off their masks.
Mhm.
So we were standing in line for the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, and this girl in the middle of the winding paths.
Where you double back, right?
Yeah, she took off her mask and started flossing her teeth in line. And I was just mortified and thinking,
Oh my God. Flicking all the stuff that flicks out of your mouth when you floss.
she was just open mouth flossing, not even trying to like hide it behind her mask. I was just like, we need to get out of here.
That's disgusting. That is so disgusting.
People are so crazy.
I did see a picture. You guys did go to Disney Springs. How'd you feel at Disney Springs?
There was a lot of people, and that was our first venture out into the world,
Mm-hmm.
COVID, because it was the first morning. And so we were highly aware of everything. The first line we got in for was the Star Wars store there.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And at that point, people lined up behind us, and there weren't markers on the ground that far out because it was pretty packed.
Mm-hmm.
And they were like right behind us. And they were just right behind us. So I was just talking to my husband and I said, let's just go because I don't feel comfortable. And so we jumped out of line. And then, of course, right then a cast member came up and was telling people like, oh, you need to scooch back 6 feet, 6 feet.
Mm-hmm.
So it was just kind of that sort of instance where there was guests coming way too close to us.
Yeah.
And then in World of Disney, it was really, really bad. It was like there was no restrictions on how many guests were in there.
Yeah, they're kind of keeping a counter on how many people are in the store, and they are keeping people back outside, but inside there's kind of
no. Yeah.
Other than in the queue where you're waiting to pay, there's
Mhm.
no way that they're keeping people separated. So
Yeah, I noticed that
I
when we were
felt
there
that way
too.
too.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's exactly it. Because we waited at least 10 minutes to get inside the store. So I thought, okay, they can't be letting in that many people. But then when we got in the store, there were several things that we wanted to get, but we're just like, we don't feel safe. For example, the area with all the coffee mugs, that's kind of a circle.
Yeah.
With people in there. I mean, literally people were knocking cups off several times and I heard them break because people were just like elbow
Oh my
down.
gosh. Wow.
It's crazy.
Too much.
It was too much.
So that what we talked about Hollywood. Did you go to all 4 parks or
We went to Hollywood Studios. We went to Magic Kingdom on that Wednesday.
okay.
And to Epcot on that Thursday.
Okay. So anything interesting that you experienced at Magic Kingdom with the I did see this beautiful picture of nobody.
I know. I wish that I don't know why we didn't just turn around and take a selfie with that there.
Yeah, really.
I couldn't believe that it was that empty. But that I think that what I got from the whole trip was that Hollywood Studios was really the only park that felt that crowded, because in our experience, Magic Kingdom was pretty empty, and then Epcot was also really empty.
Yeah.
So nothing really stuck out to me more than that girl flossing her teeth. Magic Kingdom.
That's a pretty big one. Where'd
you eat it? Where'd you eat at Magic Kingdom? You did the mobile ordering, I'm sure.
Yeah, we did Cosmic Rays,
Mhm.
and we got the Halloween Monster Mash.
Oh, with the tater tots on it.
It was really, really good. I love cheese and potatoes, so piling all that on a burger, it was really good.
That sounds good. That sounds good.
Oh, and we did get the Constance's wedding cake too.
Oh, now what did you think of that? Because I've heard mixed reviews.
I liked that the cake wasn't just like a yellow cake
Mhm.
or vanilla. It kind of had a citrus spice.
Oh.
It was different than I expected. It's half and half cake and mousse, like
Okay.
yeah. So you would think it was just a light icing on top of the cake, but no, it's like a smaller cake and then mousse on the outside and then frosting. So I really liked it, but if you
Okay.
don't like mousse or raspberry, then you might not like it.
And that's a picture of the boardwalk.
That's a
Yep.
cool picture.
So after Magic Kingdom was when we switched resorts to the beach club,
Okay.
and that was when it got really bad. As far
Oh, yes. Tell
as-
everybody about your room at the beach club.
Oh, she had the best room, I heard.
You have to request this room number.
Oh yeah. So we had a long day at Magic Kingdom. We stayed until park close, and then we got NYPD pizza, which is the best pizza in Orlando. But after that, we got back to the resort, and it was about 8:30 or 9 o'clock, and they put us in room 560. So this is your warning. Don't ever stay in room 560. We went up there, and it was obviously on the 5th floor. I think there's only 3 or 4 rooms up there
Mhm.
on the 5th floor because it's kind of like in the peak of,
Oh, okay.
and that's kind of what it felt like, was like an old lady attic.
Oh.
A little bit. So we got in, we cleaned down the room, sterilized it because we're nuts like that. And
Me too. I do the same thing.
so by the time we got in bed, it was like 10:30, maybe 11, and we're sitting there trying to sleep and we're exhausted. And over and over, we keep hearing this banging noise. And we recorded it, but my husband has it on his phone. It was so loud that we recorded it because we're just like, what is going on? It was like bang, bang, and over again.
Mm-hmm.
We couldn't figure it out. So we called the front desk and we're just like, there's this really loud noise. We're exhausted. We're trying to sleep. You know, what should we do? And they ran us through all these different questions about if it was the dishwasher or all these different appliances. And we're like, we're in a studio, so
You don't have those appliances.
Exactly. So we're just like, can we just switch to a different room because we're exhausted and we just want to get to sleep? And they said, yeah, we can do that. We'll call the front desk, and because it was like a line, the Disney
Right.
call line. We'll call your front desk and we'll see what we can do. So we wait like 15 more minutes and then call back again because we hadn't heard anything. And it's getting later and later. And they said, oh, well, I don't think that 15 minutes is really that long of time to wait to get a new room. So, we can see that they're putting in a request, but they don't have a room for you guys yet. And so we're like, okay. So we hang up with them and we're just sitting there like exhausted. Like, do we need to pack up our stuff? Are we moving? What are we doing? And then we get a knock on our door a little bit later, and they actually sent an engineer up to check out the room to be like, try to fix what the sound was. But at that point, we had figured out that it was the elevator behind our room. It was the elevator mechanics that was literally right behind our room where we were sleeping. So all night, if we were in that room, you would hear the button and the electronics every time the elevator went up and down for every guest. It was just a nightmare.
Oh my gosh, that's
I just
crazy.
can't imagine that other people don't complain about that.
They have to.
Bizarre.
maybe if they're heavy sleepers or if they blast the TV really loud. I don't know. I was starting to think that our room was haunted because I couldn't figure out what the noise was.
So do not stay in room 560 at Beach Club.
Right. So we finally we're just like, okay, that's probably what the sound is. And they got us a new room on the second floor, but it was well after midnight by that point.
Oh my
We
goodness.
had to pick up everything and then move it all downstairs, and then I had to re-sanitize the room.
Right.
It was just one of those hassles that you don't really want to deal with at midnight.
Yeah. I'm sorry you had to go through that. So then you went to Epcot?
Yep. So
Did you go to
after
Food
that,
and
we
Wine?
got refreshed,
Mhm.
and we went to Epcot, and we did just park open and close. We hit all the different food and wine booths
Wow.
for dinner because I love food. So it was a really good day. And the crowds were really low. All the rides were pretty much walk-ons except for
Wow.
back. So that was really good.
Awesome.
Well, what out of the 4 parks is your favorite?
Based on this trip or in general?
Oh, and just in general, what's your favorite park out of them all?
I'd say Epcot's my favorite just because I did my college program there. So
Cool.
yeah, I kind of have a soft spot for Epcot.
Yeah. So what was your favorite thing at the food and the taste of the food and wine?
The best thing, in my opinion, was the mac and cheese in the festival showplace.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Or world showplace.
Right.
One of the two. It just the regular mac and cheese. It was so creamy and there were so many flavors and it was garlicky and the little crumbles on top.
Oh, wow. All right, Dave. We got to get over there.
I know, right?
It was good. We ate it for lunch, and then after we had looped the whole world showcase, we're like, okay, we still have to make room, and we went back for a second.
Wow.
So.
All right. Yes, Uli's in the college program too. Uli's a college program alum as
Yay!
I just so
cheese soup. Yes.
Yes, cheddar cheese soup in September in Florida is that's a special thing. Outside when it's 94 degrees, yum. Over a trash can.
Absolutely. The ambiance.
My favorite. It's my favorite. So so when you got back and you did tell people, you said you did get a little bit of grief from some people. Was anybody supportive? Did they say good for you or?
Yeah, a lot of people were supportive. Like mostly I think in our situation, it came from the fact that we've been so cautious with COVID and we have been for months telling people, we're not going to this social gathering or this one because of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
And for people to see that we're going to Disney World and their perceptions of Disney being just, filled with crowds and whatever they think it is. So
yeah, people who don't get Disney. So I know. So there was one more piece of news. Our friend Mandy had posted last week that the rumor was that Mr. Clown was going away at Boardwalk, and then posted this picture today that he is gone. But I don't know if that means maybe they're repainting him or something. I'm not 100% convinced that he's not coming back.
So did they take down all of the hair and everything?
Well, I see a little bit of hair sticking out on the side, I think. Yeah, that's his hair sticking out. Mm-hmm. Oh, maybe. I don't know.
It could be that background. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think they probably just refurbishing him.
Yeah. I can't see them taking him out.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just keep watching Mr. Creepy Clown. Was there anything else that you didn't get to talk about, Lauren, that you wanted to tell us about your trip or something you tried or liked or didn't like? Or
I think the biggest thing is just to know what you're getting into if you do go. Mm-hmm. If you're really scared of going, like I was, just know that like you're in control of your situation, and it's hard to not be polite
Yeah.
Because you want to be polite and you want to just be like, oh, I'm not going to say anything. But that's like to keep yourself safe and to keep your family safe. It's okay to tell people, you need to back up.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of times we waited like 2 rows back, like 2 stickers back, if there was a bunch of people in front of us or if they cut us off. So I think that was the biggest thing, was just like knowing that you have to consider your own safety risks and take it upon yourself to make sure that you're safe.
Right. Well, Veronica and I talked about that last week, that if it's a family of 8 people, one line is not going to suffice. So you're gonna want, they should make it a number. They should say 3 people to a landing strip there, and then that way. So some families are going to take up more than 1 6-foot space.
Mm-hmm.
But so you have to do for yourself then in that case, and just hang back a little bit.
Yeah, and several times throughout the trip, we did tell people, okay, you can just go ahead in front of us. It's no big deal, because they'd be right behind us. And I think a lot of times, they'd give you weird looks, but then you can creep up on the people in front of them and you don't have to worry about it. So
Let them deal with it.
yeah.
I should have tried that one. So at Hollywood Studios, you said you hadn't been there in about 5 years. So was this your first time on Rise?
Yes.
Okay. And Slinky Dog, of course. And did you get to do Mickey's Runaway Railway?
Yes, we did all of those. So Mickey and Minnie's, I loved it. I didn't feel disappointed at all. It was more than what I expected. We did
I felt the same way. It's only Dave that didn't like it, and my mother.
I mean, I just wasn't blown away by it. I mean, it was okay, but yeah.
Yeah. I've always wanted to go to parks in different countries, the different Disney parks. And it really reminded me of I think it's called Mystic Manor.
Yeah.
Where it kind of has that same type of feel with the neons and the, trackless ride. But I loved it. We waited first. It was about an hour the first time we went through and waited, but then we hopped back in because we liked it so much and we did it again. So, yeah.
And so what did you think of Rise?
I absolutely loved it. I am a huge Star Wars fan, thanks to my husband. He has gotten me into Star Wars. And it was amazing. It was mind-blowing. It was everything that I wanted from a ride and more. And I didn't look at any spoilers, and I wouldn't say any spoilers to anyone, but it was just amazing. Yeah. And I am a huge Universal fan too. And I love Hagrid's and I love Gringotts. And I was like, oh, it's not going to beat those. But then it did. And I was so surprised. And I wish that I could have ridden it more than once. Yeah. But it was amazing. I loved it.
Yeah, I'm not a big Star Wars fan either, but I am totally blown away by Galaxy's Edge and the Rise ride. It's, to me, it surpasses everything, and it's just absolutely amazing. So I get it.
Yeah. Tom, is there a reason why you're on the fence about riding Rise of the Resistance? Tom Ellison posted that he's on the fence about riding it. I don't think I've ever heard anybody say anything like that before. So I wonder if they'll reply.
Somebody would be. That's the only thought that I would have.
Yeah.
Now, did you get on Millennium Falcon?
I did not. I am very claustrophobic.
Okay.
So I really, really wanted to ride it, and I did look at a point of view and before, and I know that it's amazing, but I just couldn't make it. I got all the way, and I think we had a really long wait time. We waited almost an hour for it.
Oh.
And I think it didn't help either, being the anxiety and the hype of going through the tunnels and it getting smaller and smaller and smaller. So I ducked out right before, because I was just like, I can't do this. It's too small.
Okay.
Tom says
Tom
it's. Go ahead. Go ahead.
No,
read it, Dave.
he breaks down. It breaks down a lot, and it does. It broke down on us last time we went. We had to wait almost an hour, and the whole boarding group thing. But Tom, I will tell you that I would definitely try and go for it because, it is. I thought Flight of Passage, to me, that was my ride, and I didn't think anything could surpass that. But I have to say that Rise is absolutely amazing. It's mind blowing. So
Yeah.
very
Well,
cool.
Tom, if you can't get there for 10, because he's saying he may not be there at park opening, try for 2. I've gotten boarding groups at 2. Dave got a boarding group at 2. Scott Daves, who's also commenting that you need to try, he's got boarding groups at 2. So that's an option too.
Yeah.
Danielle is saying she's not a big Star Wars fan, but she thought it was pretty awesome. Now, after seeing Galaxy's Edge, you saw Toy Story Land first, so it's small, isn't it?
Like Galaxy's Edge or
Toy Story Land.
It is. It's like a walkthrough.
Kind
I
of.
wasn't expecting it to be that small,
Mhm.
but I really liked Slinky Dog Dash. It kind of
Yeah.
made me a little bit nauseous because of all the hills, but
Mm-hmm.
it could have also been because it was first thing in the morning.
I think Slinky Dog's a pretty cool ride. I still like it. Yeah. That I was going to say the same thing, Scott. I know you said you started feeling claustrophobic in the line. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, the capsule itself, being that now they're only loading you and your family, it would have been just you and your husband. You probably would have been okay, but I understand as the line was getting smaller.
Yeah, it's something I'm working on. Hopefully next time I can
Yeah.
give my anxiety and claustrophobia. So
The Austins are hoping to get onto Rise in January. They were unable, or when they go, they were unable to get on last January. Yeah, I know about that kind of disappointment, Dan. We've experienced the agony of defeat and the thrill of victory when it comes to Rise of the Resistance boarding groups.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Yeah. Very disappointing sometimes.
Yeah, I drove over there just for one day and didn't get on. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
that's what I was really, really worried about because it was a huge deal for my husband. So that's why on the second day, we kind of left it open. And we're like, if we don't get a Rise, the first day, we were going to try it again for the second day. But we got lucky. So
yeah. And Danielle commiserates with you. She gets what you're saying about that line, that it does feel a little claustrophobic. So
it was that final, it's like a little tiny tunnel and it has a weird floor that kind of goes like this.
Yeah, I know. It feels like a gate at an airport.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
I don't ride airplanes either, so I think that's probably psychologically what it was.
Yeah. All right. So, David,
Tony,
I hope we're going to get our Skype fixed so that we don't have this technical difficulty every week.
No, I know. We're gonna have to get it fixed. The computer's been updating and Skype's been updating, and yeah. Anyway, we'll get it fixed. But it was great having Lauren on, so I'm glad she finally
Absolutely.
got on.
Thank you so much, Lauren, for joining us, for being patient with us. We tried 3. This is our 3rd go around with Lauren. So
you did push record tonight, didn't you?
Yes, I did. And
Okay.
yeah. And we're just gonna say Kevin Curtis Allen one more time for good measure. Next week we'll have a trip report from Veronica. She did a 1-day trip with an off-site stay that from what I've heard so far, sounds interesting.
Mm-hmm. It was a little bit interesting.
And so I know Uli loves the soothing sounds of Veronica's voice, so be sure to check that next week. Thank you so much, guys, for being so great and supporting us and being members of the Friends of the Disney Crush Facebook group. If you're not a member, please come over and join, and I will let you in unless you're Dave and it's your birthday, and then I'll kick you out.
Mm-hmm.
So
been there, done that.
Yeah.
Also, Lauren's sister, she makes masks, right, Lauren?
Yeah. So I don't know if you flashed the Haunted Mansion mask.
I can.
But yeah, she makes awesome masks. They're really comfortable. They're sturdy, and you can actually put filters in them. So I really, really recommend her because she's my sister and because her masks are awesome. So check out her Etsy shop. She has a lot of really cute non-Disney patterns too, like really stylish fall ones. And I know she's about to put up her Christmas line too. So
Cool.
There you go, Andrea.
Very
Right?
good.
yep, that's my sister.
There you go. So
All right,
they've
guys.
those are some cool masks. All right,
Yeah.
Lauren, thank you so much. We appreciate you.
Thank
Thanks
you guys
for
so
finally
much.
got to do this.
Yes, thank you for reaching out to us, and thank you for being patient with us. Guys, I want to wish you guys a good week, and we'll see you next week on the Disney Crush podcast. Say
Bye,
goodnight,
guys.
Dave.
Goodbye, Dave. Good night, Dave.
Good night.